Yes, it's cold. Yes, it's snowy, but it is a Friday morning. Our drive cam is activated going south of Indy this morning. We've been in Morgan County checking the roadways there because south of Indy is probably what got the most snow, although we're saying we're on the lighter side of what it could have been. So trying to have the glass half full this morning. We're glad that you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. We have a lot to get to.
Also, the fallout, as we mentioned, at the State House. We're also hearing from President Trump about what he is saying about Indiana Senate Republicans. So it is not necessarily the outcome he wanted. So we'll have the details for you on that as well. Thanks for waking up with us here on 13 Sunrise this morning. I'm Julia, along with Julia. And I think it's safe to say it was a difficult morning for drivers yesterday. And we have more weather this morning. So we have team coverage this morning throughout central Indiana. Marina's out on the roads giving us a look. And we also have Sean Ash and Matt Standridge in taking a look at the forecast for the rest of the day. Guys, how's it looking?
Hey, good morning. The snow is wrapping up, but let me introduce you to someone when the weather's doing something you can't sleep. Meteorologist Sean Ash.
Yeah.
It's great to see you this morning.
Yeah.
We've been looking at how much snow has fallen and some of those delays we have this morning.
Well, the Ash twins don't know it yet, but they're on a 2-hour delay, so they're going to be pumped about that.
Message?
Yeah, waiting to see if older sister is going to be added to the list. And speaking of that list, partner, we are over 100 delays and some closures. So I want to show you the map here as it continues to expand. Now, yes, the heaviest snow in that dark shade of blue over the southwestern corner of the state, but enough around the central parts that's going to be causing some more delays. And so this map's going to continue to update. Matt, you can see as you go far northeast, Marion had a report from Randolph County. Nothing.
Sharp cutoff.
There was a real sharp cutoff part.
Yeah, some of those new closings just watching and just coming in. Eastern Hancock, you're on a closing now. Greencastle, there's a closing. And what's been interesting too, Sean, we were talking a little bit about this too. Yesterday with that freezing drizzle we had, we kind of put a base layer of a little bit of ice. Now schools like Brownsburg and Center Grove on 2-hour delays. It's not easy to get them on 2-hour delays. So we'll be watching that this morning. Those delays coming in, but the sharp cutoff Sean is talking about is to the north and east of Indianapolis. Many of us have picked up a good inch or so to 2 inches, 2 to 3, a little bit farther south, 4+ way farther to the south. But the snow showers are wrapping up. We still have some flurries out there, but my goodness, it's cold. We're in the 20s, feels like the teens for some of us. So a lot of times the interstates and the city streets are wet, but they could have some ice patches on them when temperatures are this cold. Our county and rural roads, those are snow covered this morning. So just give yourself a little extra time. We're watching the snow get out, but coming up, we're going to be talking about the next round of snow. See that front up in North Dakota? It's coming right at us. We'll let you know how much it's headed our way and how much temperatures will drop. But let's talk traffic this morning. We've had a couple small crashes on the interstates, but a lot of times we've been flowing okay. Now, that's not to say that you may not run into a slick spot. We do have some ice patches and even some black ice reports coming in from NDOT this morning. But the road sensors this morning really highlight the rural and county roads. You get off the interstate, a lot of times we do have snow-covered roads. When you're in town, or maybe a bigger city street, a lot of times they're wet, but you have still some leftover snow patches. So just watch out for those, especially when you're coming to a stop or you're making a turn. I did get a quick crash report over by Pendleton Pike in the southbound lanes of 465. I think there's a car off to the side. I don't see any emergency vehicles right there. It looks like traffic's still flowing, and you can still see some wet pavement there on I-69. You just saw a plow go on through. They've been working hard. Thank you so much to all those crews. Your work has really helped out, but just still some snow patches are out there, Julia, this morning.
All right, thanks guys. I know we'll keep an eye on that, and also giving you a live look at how those roads look in some areas this morning.
Let's get back out to Marina Silva. She's in our drive cam. Last we talked, you were headed east from Martinsville. Where have you made your way now?
We're in Morgan right now on State Road 252. We're heading towards Shelbyville still. And I know I said that about a half an hour ago, but we're just taking it a little bit slower. The road right now, let me show you what they are. They're wet.
So it looks like her shot froze up, but if we could still take the traffic camera so we can see those roads, and we'll tell you what we're seeing here this morning if that camera hasn't frozen up, but here we go. So you can see the snow kind of off to the sides, in the middle. So that's really what we're seeing, and we do know we did get a little bit more, as we talked about, Jalea, to the south.
Yeah, and Matt has been saying that really the main thoroughfare roads, they look pretty good, and that's just a testament to how much these crews have been out overnight. In some rural areas, in some neighborhood streets, that's where you're going to see a completely different story there. So good to know, like, if you have to get out, likely you do if you're up with us at 6 this morning, that some of the main streets are nice and clear, slushy, wet, but not a lot of snow that we're seeing. And this is a good tool to keep with you as you head out on the go. If you don't already have our live Doppler 13 weather app, you can take the forecast with you and the weather blog too, because that has a lot more in-depth information that might help you plan out your day or your weekend, or if you're looking to see if you have to cancel plans, or like the delays we're seeing for schools right now.
Over 100, by the way.
Yeah.
So you'll see those at the bottom of your screen. You can also check them out online. Okay, well, maybe you're tired of hearing about it, and at least you're going to get your way for a bit. After months of debate, redistricting is dead in Indiana, for at least now.
So we won't be talking about it for a little while. At least we think. There was not enough support among Republicans in the Senate. Anna Chalker, who's been following the bill's journey, tells us what led to this vote and what's next now. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. You know, we've heard for months the bill's hardest roadblock would have been in the Senate, and that's what we saw yesterday. And many senators said they thought the vote would be tight, but what came as a shock to many was that it was not close at all.
19 ayes, 31 noes. This bill has been defeated.
31 noes and 19 yeses. That was the final vote. So that means 21 Republicans joined the 10 Democrats to end the mid-decade redistricting debate. And this came more than after 3 hours of passionate speeches on both sides of this issue. For the Republicans in support of the bill, they argued this map would boost the Republican voice in Congress. But the ones who voted no say this would take away the voice of the voters.
I believe the bill on its face is unconstitutional.
I've done my very best to quietly and respectfully listen to the people I represent, and I'm confident that my vote reflects the will of my constituents.
So that last senator you just heard from, that is Senator Greg Good. And you may remember just a few weeks ago, he received the first swatting attempt out of all of the senators that we have reported on. And he was a major swing vote throughout the entire debate. No one really knew what side he was going to end up on because he was pretty quiet on that. He ended up voting no, one of the 21 Republicans who voted no. So since this bill died yesterday, that means for the next few months, redistricting's off the table. They cannot bring this up throughout the rest of the session. The regular session still has until about February or March. But now the big question is, could this impact Indiana and our relationship up in Washington at the Capitol? So we'll have reaction from President Trump coming up and what really this could mean here soon.
He was pretty swift to comment, wasn't he, the president?
Yeah, just within a few hours of when this came out.
Okay. All right. We'll see you then. Thank you, Anna. Well, Governor Mike Braun this morning is condemning the failed attempt, saying in part, ultimately, decisions like this carry political consequences. He goes on to say that he'll be working with the president to challenge people who do not represent the best interests of Hoosiers.
Well, we're also getting reaction this morning from local Congressman Andre Carson. He is one of 2 Democratic leaders representing Indiana in D.C.
And he says that the decision at the State House shows that lawmakers listen to voters' strong objection to the redistricting plan.
I think it's clear that whether you wrote 1 letter or 30 letters, or you called a state lawmaker 5 times or 500 times, you made an impact. And the majority of Hoosiers don't agree with this very unfair proposal.
Carson represents District 7. You see this here on your map to the right. It covers a majority of Marion County. And under this failed redistricting proposal, the county would have been broken up into 4 different districts.
Coming up on 6:09.
I'll take this one. Your time is 6:08 this morning. We are working to find out whether 2 men will face some serious charges for a street race on the west side that ended in a deadly crash. It's a really tragic story. A neighbor's home near Vermont and Lyndhurst actually caught the moments on a doorbell camera before impact on yesterday morning. Police say that 2 cars were racing when one of them crashed into an uninvolved truck near the intersection. Take a look at the aftermath. It's just devastating to see. That truck caught fire. The man inside died at the scene. We've learned that the drivers involved in the race left the scene, though police did later arrest 2 men for their alleged involvement in the crash. But they're still asking anyone with additional information, or if you live nearby and you have video, to reach out to them immediately.
Well, developing this morning, the bond is set for the Evansville man accused of shooting and killing a Kentucky State University student who happened to be from Indianapolis. Yesterday, 48-year-old Jacob Bard entered a not guilty plea to the charges of murder and assault. The judge set his bond at $1 million. The shooting happened on Kentucky State University's campus in Frankfort Tuesday. 19-year-old Dejan Durrell died in that shooting. Another student was critically injured, and also we're still waiting to find out when he'll be back in court for those charges next.
IMPD is investigating what killed a man and left a woman in the hospital after they were found inside of a home on the southeast side of Indy.
Police say it was a neighbor that called them yesterday afternoon to say 2 people were found unresponsive at the house near Arlington and Raymond. We now know those 2 were found with traumatic injuries, but police have not yet said what those injuries are or what may have caused them.
The Senate rejected 2 bills aimed at keeping health care premiums lower. What President Trump is now saying about the cost of health care.
And a grand jury again rejects an indictment against New York's Attorney General. What her attorney is saying this morning about that latest rejection and what it means for the case.